Well, I'm going to start out this morning, Brian, with a little bit of an aside. I mean, you can comment on it if you want to, but on my first video this morning, a long time ago, but anyway, I did want to just bring people up to date. I missed something entirely, and I don't usually do that. But what I missed was that this morning when Tesla was down a couple of percent, and I don't know how it ended up because we're recording this in the morning also in California. But what I missed is that all of the rest of the Mag 7 were down substantially. So
Mm,
even though the markets were flat, and it looked like Tesla was down way more than the markets, it really appeared to be more about the technology stocks, which had run up a lot in the last 2 weeks, and they were all getting a haircut.
mhm. So it's the broader market. And by the way, if you find yourself forgetting stuff, Randy, there's a solution. It's a little pricey, but we can put you in a home. There is predicting how the market's going to move on no news is difficult. There isn't any particularly big news that's fresh today. I mean, the Strait is open, it's closed, it's open, it's closed. That's that's a bit of a roller coaster. But there are days when when all of stock, the markets themselves will move significantly up or down on no news at all.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, and I've seen people say, "Oh, that's someone manipulating it." It's not, the market's too big for that. What it more likely is algorithm traders who
Mhm.
kind of follow each other.
Mhm.
And that's why if the market goes too far too fast, they can shut it down for the day
Yeah.
and let everybody reset their robots to think more clearly in the morning. Uh, and I'll tell you, when I've had a long day, Randy, that's what I need too. So I don't worry about day-to-day movements. I'm not a trader. Uh, yeah, it's it happens.
We generally turn to you for all kinds of information about the various factories. And I have to say that I've kind of lost track entirely because I look at Joe Tegmeyer's posts most of the time, or I'll at least read the headline. But I feel like I'm really behind. So I thought that's what we would do first today is take a look at the various factories in a little bit different way than we normally do. So I think Joe mentioned about 2 weeks ago, he says, construction everywhere. It's like
Mhm.
it reminded me of downtown LA about, I don't know, 8 years ago when it was really going through its metamorphosis. And there was, as you drove through downtown LA, there was just cranes everywhere. Everywhere you turned, there was
Mhm.
a crane. And it's kind of what's happening now. Um, but how many buildings are they actually building in Austin right now? Are they building one for Terafab Lab? Terafab Lab, that's my name for it. The Terafab
Sure,
Lab.
that's a good name. Yeah.
Are they building that one? And are they building another one for Optimus? Because I've seen some confusing reporting from other people. Do you have a clue, or at least based on what you're hearing from other folks?
So I haven't checked it in a week because I've been on the
Oh,
road,
yeah, yeah.
but in the far north of the site in Austin, they've been sinking piles for the foundation, and it's not quite sinking piles. They basically dig a hole and compact it full of gravel. It's a a whole thing, but they had to put that on hold because the rains were too intense and the soil was saturated, and all you'd have been doing is excavating mud. So they are at work on what we have been told will be the Optimus factory.
Okay.
So that's exciting. That's not something I generally do for something that won't be out for 10 years. They're already going to be building them in Fremont in tremendous volume. That factory in Texas will only be needed when the volume is bonkers. Uh, they're still finishing up the data center expansion that's not connected to the main building. Um, and I haven't seen them doing any substantial work on Terafab Lab.
Hmm.
So I'll keep a lookout for that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Do we have any clarity on the location for that Terafab lab? I'm sorry, for the actual Terafab. Have we seen anything on that?
No, no, but the size of it means not in a city we've heard of, and probably not within any city limits. It's going to be of a size that is probably larger than some towns. So it's probably going to be an unincorporated county land somewhere, but it's going to be significant. And while you can get land for a pretty good price, getting that much land contiguous can be a little more challenging. And until the land is purchased and secured, I can't imagine them telling anyone where it is, for the same reason Disney World was procured in secret.
Yeah, right.
After the debacle of buying Disneyland and announcing it and everyone not selling around it.
Right.
So, which is a lesson you learn. So on Terafab itself, no word yet.
Okay. And then we had heard rumors that the solar fab for both Tesla, for the solar fab panels, and then the solar array factory, we had heard that they were clearing land on two sides of the street or whatever, right around where they make the Starlink dishes. Have you heard any updates on whether those are actually what we thought they were, or is there anything going on?
The last I heard is one of the clearings will be the solar factory and the other will be an expansion to the satellite factory.
Oh, okay.
Or the dish factory, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The dish factory. Because the dish factory is trying to crank out like 1 million a month. And it's a big building, but it ain't that big. They've got to be just banging their elbows into the walls every day because it's got to be tight. The satellites themselves are made in Redmond, Washington, which I guess means Redmond is the all-time satellite factory king of the world.
Right. Yes, they would be by a lot.
By a lot, yeah. Yeah. So that's my understanding of Bastrop.
Okay. And what about the Cybercab numbers? Are we getting any significant numbers coming out? What's happening there?
There are days when you will see dozens being moved out, mostly now without steering wheels. The Joe Tegmeyer was able to confirm to us that there are two little secondary serial lines, one that has them with the steering wheels, one that has them without. The steering wheel ones, if you look at them closely, you'll see they're not actually the finished car. They don't have the colored impregnated plastic paneling. They have a wrap over some cheaper plastic because they're not meant for prolonged use. But we are seeing dozens in the outbound lot on a regular basis. We're seeing sightings all over the country, in California, in Ohio, in Wichita. That to me means things are moving at a pace I would expect for an imminent rollout.
Okay. All right. Good. Cool. All right. We have so many products that are supposed to be made in Berlin, but so far you've not really had any information. Have you? I mean, we've heard that for sure they're making batteries. Do we know if they've actually produced any? Is there any confirmation that they're setting up a line for Cybercab or Semi, or is that just all still speculation?
So the battery factory, we know, got its equipment over a year ago. Certainly they've been doing something with those batteries, but we haven't seen what it is. So they're not putting them in cars. We know that because the window sticker would be different. When you change from one battery to another, either your weight or your range or some combination thereof is going to change. And we haven't seen that, leading us to the conclusion that 4680 is not yet in Model Y from Berlin. What would you do with all those batteries? Well, honestly, you'd ship them to the US and use them there instead. Because we're getting it set up. If we've got the capacity, might as well take advantage of it if the price makes sense. And it appears that it does. We definitely don't have an answer on that. Berlin is still making the Model Y. Model Y sales have recovered in Germany, but also in Europe more generally. The numbers are getting better. So that gives us some hope for the fate of the factory. We do know that they have space cleared and ready should they decide to build something else there. The Cybercab is going to make sense, but not today. We will get more than a year's notice that that's about to go out wide. And in the meantime, they can fill the gap with Model Ys, just like they have in Texas and California. So it's not super urgent. And I think they want to wait until the Cybercab line here is fully dialed in before they replicate it. So you can't finish your design until you know exactly what you need. On semi, that's going to happen. I don't know when, but all those 4680s, forget the Model Y, just keep them for the semi. If those go into the semi, once that 4680 line is up to speed, the Tesla semi makes so much sense in Europe. I've got a video coming up that I started researching a few days ago about the of semi in Europe. Because while our break-even cost on a semi is about 300,000, makes it cheaper than a diesel, in Europe it's much shorter, and you only have to drive like 500,000 miles before the truck is about free, depending on which truck you pick. A Tesla semi, based on the pricing we know, 240 to 260, 240 to 260,000. On a Tesla semi, 500, 600,000 miles, the truck is free. The next 400,000 miles is just savings. And that's if you stop at 1 million, which maybe you will. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So then we have Shanghai, who came out last week and said, hey, we can make Optimus over here. And then the rumors started flying that they were going to make Optimus there and be up to a run rate by the end of the year of 100,000. And the rumors were coming in from probably Reuters. Anyway, but I'm not sure of that. But they were coming in from qualified sources. They weren't coming in from just any old body.
Right.
But then other people came out and said, no, they're not doing that. And of course, but we've also had Tesla come out from time to time and say, no, that's fake news. And what they meant was it was off by a silly millimeter. So anything on that? Have you heard any more?
So materially, I have heard nothing, but let me explain the business case. If you're China, do you want a US built humanoid robot walking around gathering data? We already know the answer is no, because they don't want a US designed automobile built in China gathering data. You have to sequester it. So it's not just that we want the Optimus data sequestered to China. We want all of it, the components, all of it. So if there's some sneaky chip you're dropping in the back that is the spy chip, we want to know, we want to see what's going on so we know it's secure. Just like how if a Chinese company made a truly fantastic Optimus style robot, we would probably prefer to have that made in the US where we could have at least one eye on it before allowing it. We'd want the data trained locally. And so there are countries that don't like the US deeply and sincerely. There are countries that don't like China with an equal or greater passion. Whichever your ally of choice, you can buy an Optimus. It's going to perform about as well. Some tasks it'll do better than others. If you're trained on US data, you probably don't hold your chopsticks right, I'm told. But there's a reason to build two. I don't think they could build it at the existing site from, I don't remember who it might have been, Lars, maybe, that said we have an option on the land next door. They could expand there, but even if they just go down the block like they did with Gigafactory Shanghai, it's still close enough that you can hop in your golf cart and get over there.
We also I think with Optimus, similar to the Megapacks, you could put it in an existing building. We're not talking about massive clearances. We're not talking about dramatic amounts of weight-bearing equipment that requires deep piles and things like that. So it could be that they would start out with an existing building.
Absolutely true. Even the Megapack factory was built in an old
Yeah.
in the US, in Lathrop, where I was last week, was built in an old JCPenney warehouse,
Right.
distribution center.
Right.
So they did have to put in some deep pits here and there for different things, but it wasn't the same kind of open heart surgery it would be with an auto factory. Optimus would need, the building would need a casting machine, but not a giga casting machine.
Right.
It would need a stamping machine, but more like what you'd find in a neighborhood
Yeah.
steel shop
Yeah.
than what you'd see in an automotive factory. The scale of things makes your assumptions correct.
Yeah. Okay. So, but we
And
got it from
I don't like to say that about your assumptions being correct. It really, I tease.
hard on your heart. Uh, okay. And then, of course, Cybertruck.
Mhm.
Are we seeing any decent numbers of Cybertrucks coming out?
So I don't have a good take on that. As of the end of the quarter, we saw the sales were not great, not super exciting. Q1 is always bad. Hopefully, there's some movement in Q2. If they wanted to crank those numbers up, all they'd have to do is chew into that backlog of $60,000 sales they've got and work through that. Why they don't appear to be, I am unclear. So I don't know what's going on with that.
All right. Well, the last factory of significance is, of course, Buffalo.
Hmm.
I think, speculated a few weeks ago that they would maybe start building the solar panels there, the actual utility scale solar panels there, because we already have solar panels being made there. Any updates on that?
I don't think, based on the scale we now understand, that it will make sense to do the fabrication of the actual panels, the actual wafers in Buffalo. I think Buffalo's too small for that. So I now would say with reasonable confidence that's happening in Texas. Uh, what's going on in Buffalo? They do have their new, I guess you'd call it a scissor configuration for shipping out their prefabricated chargers.
Hmm.
And what a great design. You
Yeah.
just cut the amount of truck you need in half. You simplified, you internalize more components. So there's no more margin. There's no need to worry about there being an error out there on site. It'll it'll be simpler. And we do need to talk about Megafactory Lathrop, don't we?
We're gonna talk about that on our second show, Brian.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll be ready for
we have to
that.
hold off something for the second show.
Well,
I mean,
then you gotta tease it. By
oh,
the
okay,
way,
tease it. Yeah.
yeah. Then we're gonna have to talk semi, right?
Yeah, yeah. We'll talk about that tomorrow too. Yeah.
Oh, that goes tomorrow too.
Yeah.
I'll be ready. I'll be
Okay.
ready.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, with all of that, this picks a perfect place to say adieu. And Brian, we'll look forward to talking to you. Notice how the rhyming thing is happening there. And
Mm, mm.
and then to all of those folks over there, which doesn't rhyme at all, we will say it's been great talking to you. Yeah. But I still, with the new Zoom stuff, I can't find my exit. But here we go.